One of us. Goobly goo. One of us. Goobly goo. Alright. Now I'm just going to watch it there. One of us. Goobly goo. One of us. Goobly goo. We did it! Alright.
We did it.
Now I'm just going to watch it there. One of us. Goobly goo. One of us. Goobly goo. We did it! Alright.
We did it.
Now I'm just going to watch it there. One of us. Goobly goo.
Oh no.
One of us. Oh shit. I'm doing it again. I'm doing the...
We did it.
Now I'm just cycle there. One of us. Goobly goo. Oh no. Oh shit. I don't know what to mute. I'm doing it again. I'm doing the...
We did it.
Now I'm just cycle there. One.
Carousel of nightmares.
Okay, I don't know how to stop this now.
I
can hear you
see
clearly.
me?
Yeah, you're fine. We and I are good. Yep.
You're good?
I muted YouTube, so right now I've got you 5x5. So what do I do?
I'm really gonna get into this this hand signal stuff. So two of us, like two. Do you see the enemies, and then there's on first.
How do I stop this? Because I'm afraid that's all they hear right now.
The Carousel of Nightmares?
Yes.
I think it's okay on their end. I think it's just us because we have two
inputs.
Audio sources.
Okay,
right?
Perfect. Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure. And then the last thing I want to see is how do I see the chat minster? There we go. Oh, it's underneath it now.
We're good?
Oh, yeah. We are good.
You guys are good? You can hear us okay? Corinne says they can't hear it. I mean, it's an expensive ticket to ride the Carousel of Nightmares.
Can you hear anything? You do have...
Yeah, can you hear us?
I don't know if you can...
No, we'll just answer your question.
Right. I don't know if she's saying she can hear the Carousel of Nightmares or just us talking about it. Oh, perfect. For fuck's sake. Maybe. Listen, Corinne, keep it up, and I'll never come back to the podcast again. Say how you want it? Sorry about my voice. I've got a little bit of a cold, so it's puberty town over here.
A little bit of a cold.
Just a taste. But I got some tea steeping over here. Should help. Do I have to sound like an old-timey miner?
I got some tea steeping over here. Why don't y'all come on in and spell?
Y'all thirsty? Yeah.
Want to hear tell us some ghosts?
Let's get this going. Did you guys have a nice Christmas?
Yeah, did Bill Schnickel
come
and visit?
I heard tell he was nigh.
He was nigh for a while, I feel like.
That's true. Yeah, it seemed like there was a long run up to the old holler days this year.
Now it's all over. But the fighting.
Oh, look how elegant I am. My name is Dave.
What a priss.
What? Listen, the rest of the world's down with this tea drinking business, so... Let's get used to that, son. Oh, perfect. Oh, I just figured it out. I cracked the Omega code. I got chat and live feed. Boom. I'm doing it. Figured this out just in time.
Did we get spoit? I got a little.
Yeah.
I got the new Assassin's Creed game.
Nice. Nothing wrong with getting spoiled. I got, look at this.
Pretty legit.
I actually just realized I had this on my desk. I got this great gift from my brother. My brother-in-law is a box of precision ground angles, so that when I am working on making a knife, I can set my bevels to specific precision angles. So they're just little blocks of milled steel at very precise angles.
And how does it work?
So when you're, like, a knife has like a few different angles. There's like the flat of it, and then you do like a 4 or 5 degree angle, which is for most of the cut. But then when you get to the blade itself, the actual final bevel is usually about 20 degrees. So this helps me set, like I can create like a jig with a specific angle and run it back and forth across my belt sander as I'm grinding the steel down. So, but I think that you're getting a lot more traction on this than I am, because Corinne's down with the Assassin's Creed. I have never played it, and I feel bad because as much as we've liberally borrowed from their pirate stuff, like, it seems like they're fucking great games.
They're pretty good, although they changed up a lot of stuff in this game, particularly with the combat system. But, like, it's a gorgeous game. There's a lot of cool mythology in it, and I've just been running around trying to, like, level up and get all the stuff.
I dig it. I dig it. Well, happy early birthday, Corinne.
Yeah, Corinne. You're a Capricorn as well.
That means you're insolent, but you're also a caring nurturer.
Yeah, I got a straight razor not too long ago, but it was not sharpened. And I got a whetstone, and one day I sat down and tried to sharpen it, but I don't think I'm either doing it right or the whetstone is too small to, like, be effective.
Yeah,
it's one of those little bitty whetstones, you know, and I was like,
for a straight razor, and I've seen, like, if you look up a YouTube video of guys who, like, make straight razors, by the time they're done, they are literally stropping them on stones that just feel perfectly smooth, but they're still sharpening. Like, for straight razors, that shit goes on forever.
I got a leather strop for eventually when I've got some kind of edge on it. But, it's going to be a labor.
Well,
I've been trying to do it like, you know, the edge of the blade and going into it as opposed to, like, pulling back. So I don't know. Maybe that's wrong too.
Well, I'll tell you what. Like, next time you come over, like, I got belts for my grinder that go up to, like, the 5,000 grit and just a leather strop, so we can get that shit too.
Ooh, that's a good idea. Doing it mechanically and not physically.
Yeah, I'm all about that because I'm lazy.
Who all we got out there?
Yeah, we got
what's going on, everybody?
Christy, Corinne, Big Dan, the Great Cat Burkle.
It's strop.
With an O.
It's with an O. Yeah. What is it? A mug in a chair and a leather strap. I tend to tell Sweeney Todd. What else is going on? Man, I got a mini announcement, but I'm gonna wait till see if anybody else shows up. I mean, obviously, I don't blame anybody for Sashay and Ann.
Right. We've given everyone every fucking reason to show up late. So yeah, there is no hard feelings there.
Corinne, I'm planning on getting you the koozie in the coming.
Yeah. That's what it's all about. Gifts. I just like
Stecco, will you still be around for the live streams? Corinne wants to know.
I would say probably not on the regular, but I'll, like, my plan is just to fucking ride in out of left field occasionally. That was gross.
As the really horseman gross. Of plague.
Yeah, no shit. As I spread my pox on everyone. I made a mistake with this tea. We didn't have any honey, so I just put some maple syrup in there. Thought it'd be the same.
It's not the same?
It's not the same. It's not awful. It's just weird.
Awful weird.
Awful weird.
I don't know if we'll do, well, I can't do a musical intro by myself.
Oh, yes you can. Because here's the thing, Flora. Now it's like you can have a chorus of Floras. Like an auto-tuned orchestra. A florchestra.
Oh man, talk about a carousel of nightmares.
Oh, that would be so fucking great. Because there are moments in the musical intros that have little tiny hints of the power that you could, that like, I feel like you're always just firing like 15% of like the post-production auto-tune, 17 different versions of you singing all at once, like, because we do that for like some of the choruses where we'll record like a few different versions and put them together. But I'm like, hashtag Florchestra. That's all I want to hear.
I had to. How many times did I have to re-record the last musical though? Like, at least twice.
I mean, how many times have we all done that? There is, and I feel like each one we do, one of us has it and the other one's chasing it, and it's never the same person each time.
Yeah, you usually have it though, and I try to match you. So like this last time, I don't know what I was thinking. It's on a completely different planet in terms of keys. Like, I literally was listening to it. I had half the song put together. And then I was like, this just is terrible. And I got up and brought the computer into the closet and re-recorded it. Based on what your was.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, though, is that you're also lashed to the fucking mast of my awful singing shit, because you can re-record you, but you wouldn't be able to necessarily re-record me. So it's like, well, Stecco fucked it up. I guess I'll wet in your pants is the coolest.
I bet it was that damn Sasquatch.
Yeah. Yeah, no, well, I think it's going to be even more fun to have surprise show-ups or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely different. Let's see.
Excuse me, I am so sorry. I'm such a hacking mess. This cold just blew in like day before yesterday out of nowhere, and I'm trying to lay low so that I don't have coughs when I get married at the end of the month. So,
when are you leaving?
Let me take a look. It is the week that kind of bridges January and February. So I'm leaving, I think, the 27th, and I'm coming back like the 3rd or the 4th of February, I think.
Wow. It's coming up quick.
It is. It's all coming together real fast. We got our bands in the mail, and we're just finalizing things. I went in to get my suit tailored this week. I don't feel like it's my impending wedding that was ever stopping you, Corinne. I feel like you're just making up excuses at this point. I mean, it was. I don't. It's funny because I think that this starts to post before, or I'm not sure at what point it's recording when I actually start to put it online. So there's like always a little lag of us talking at the very beginning, and when we first start up, and Laura's like, I think it's just Corinne logged in. And I was like, well, she's gonna get her live sex show then. If it's just the three of us, I mean, we're gonna make it worth it. But then everyone else showed up, so it's off. It's off because. And you can thank specifically Grey Cat and Christy. You can thank them for blowing it. Don't leave though, guys, because it's too late now. The mood's gone.
That's right. You're here. Where else are you going to go? 7-Eleven? Taquito? No. The country album. I mean, that's still in the cards, I feel like.
Absolutely. Every time I go on a long road trip, I make little notes on my phone. As a matter of fact, let's see if I can find one, because they're terrible and it's embarrassing. So let me see here. What did I do with my phone?
Yeah, I wrote a couple lyrics here and there.
Oh, yeah. Flora's got a really good one. A really good one. Shit, I don't know where my phone is. Flora, would you be able to regale them with one while I find my phone?
I guess so.
Yeah, do the Ghost Train one. That one's the shit.
I got.
All right, I'll be right back.
So I started writing the lyrics. What I want to do is have the lyrics and stuff done up and ready to go before we do any actual music and things. I don't know. That doesn't really make sense, but what do I do with it? Oh, maybe it's not in here. But I've started on some stuff and happy with where it's going. It's one of those things where I just have to sit down and make the effort. Is all. You guys know how that goes. All right. What have I done with it? Is this it? Yeah. So I've got an idea for a song about a ghost train, and I've got three stanzas, but I'm not sure exactly the chorus of it yet. I've got some ideas, but I want it to be like it's a ghost train going somewhere, like Ghost Train to Memphis or something stupid. But I also want it to be a full song. So the three stanzas I've got so far, and these are like not in any particular order, and not like the beginning of it, or this is like just stuff I've thought of in the middle. 13 cars all painted black with windows lined in bone, and each car rides on 13 wheels all cursed by 13 crones. At the end and trailing fire, a bright blood-red caboose, and swinging like a demon from the back-end roof, a lantern and a hanging noose. The engine is a hellish sight with a skull for a boilerplate. The smokestack's tall, and worst of all, it belches out pure hate. And then...
Then it gets awesome! How fucking cool is that already?
and yeah, like I said, I haven't really found a good chorus for it. But it's all just about describing this train, kind of in the style of Devil Goes Down to Georgia in a way. So yeah, that's where we're at. That's a start of one.
That's a start.
There's going to be a love song about the Georgia Guidestones. Not that someone's in love with the Georgia Guidestones, but like
I don't have a log. Not the way you think.
Not to think I'm wrong.
Right, hold on, I gotta see which of these, because I don't title these voice memos. So let me see if I can find what I'm after. I hope this is worth it. I'm sorry if it isn't. Well,
you can say that about the past 5 years.
Yeah, that's what our anthology's called.
Oh my gosh. Look at my butt.
I hope that's an idea for one of the songs.
Wait, what?
I hope that's one of your ideas.
That was me recording my nieces. They made up a song about butts that I thought was hilarious. Let's see here. That's kind of weird that that didn't go to the headphones.
Mostly lots of like percussion, like, and then you know, like the cool minor kind of Ghost Riders in the Sky type guitars over that.
They're not on here, and I don't know why.
You know what, Dave?
What?
Fire.
Right?
No.
Wait, what? But if I could just... Oh, it's too late. Good.
I don't do what the people want.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm looking over here, and I'll tell you what. I do have at least a good consolation prize here, because apparently at some point when I switched phones, it didn't keep those memos, which is irritating. But I do... Oh, no, I already did that. Never mind.
Why does my mouth move so much when I just do anything? Like I'm
Are
like,
you
oh,
are you high?
something in this tooth. Got it.
Did I already played the Sugar Creek Gang song? I think last month, didn't I? We were talking
Did
about
you?
things that I like about weird Christian radio and their radio plays and stuff.
You guys will have to answer him because I
Yeah.
can't remember if it was on here or if it was during an episode that we recorded. That was
Yeah.
like OOC, you know?
Yeah, we were talking about things that I like and how the Moody Bible Institute makes these radio plays that are like just god awful, literally god awful, God, comma awful. So they're these like Christian things about people finding salvation or great Christians in history, but they're done in this old timey fashion, but not out of any sense of irony or intent. I think the person in charge of them is just super fucking old. So it's got like a warbly organ in the background, and everyone has these mid-Atlantic accents. But I was hoping to make it home for Christmas this year, but I just don't think I can afford it with the price of groceries getting higher every week, it seems. And then someone comes out of nowhere and it's like, you love Jesus, here's a bag of cash. But the moral of the story is I love catching these awful radio shows on Christian radio because they're fun to listen to me. And I did, yeah, no. If you're in Milwaukee, 3 p.m. It's like 107.9, I think. I used to memorize it. Do it, Christy.
There are a lot of Christian stations up around Milwaukee, aren't there?
Yeah, there really are. And I found one that plays like these shows are in Iowa, which made me super happy. But here's the theme song to one of them, which is, this is just the best.
It's the Sugar Creek Gang walking down the road. The Sugar Creek Gang that we all know. They're our gang. They're our guys. The Sugar Creek Gang.
Just wait. It just gets better.
Before we go on with our story today, I just want to share a thought with you that I received this morning from meeting with the Lord. To begin with, these past few months, instead of doing Bible study in the morning, writing a lot of things down, I decided just to read, let the Lord speak to me. I opened to the book of Psalms. Now, I haven't read them in quite a while, because I've been busy going through the New Testament.
You know,
I
it
just
happens.
started from the beginning. When I got to Psalm 4, verse 4,
Which I'm not going to read to you.
then reread it. Then I just sat there and, well, I didn't think about it. You see, I'm beginning to believe that as people, we think too much. And that's what the Lord has to say to us. So I just sat there.
Some might say the opposite.
Yeah, well, we as a people, we're thinking too much.
That's right. Just sit back and don't think about anything. Let the Lord take care of it.
Things that I love about that. Well, I decided to do much and nothing. And then I got to Psalm 4. I don't feel like I'll have to share it with you, but I'm going to talk about it for a while now.
I read it.
But
Then I read it again.
but you'll never know.
All 10 words.
You're going to have to get out your own goddamn Bibles. I ain't reading for the likes of you.
Did I just take the Lord's name in vain? Looks like I'll have to get the lash out.
That's right. So that I do really enjoy. Yeah, I'm sorry I don't have any of me screaming in a... Because especially when I was moving out here, I was going back and forth between
Some stuff.
Yeah. Because I played some of it for you, Flora. Like, I had it.
Yeah.
I don't know what... I wonder if it's hidden in iTunes somewhere. I'll try to dig it out.
That stuff never away.
No.
It's got to be somewhere.
If it had a picture of my titties in there, I guarantee it'd be somewhere. That's how I mark all my files now.
Out there.
Yeah, just, it's like, oh, what are these 2014 tax records? And my balls.
I've got bourbon and Coke.
I got tea with maple syrup. And some beers in backup. I'm not gonna not drink, but
Is that an Edward Gorey cup?
no, it's a Nightmare Before Halloween.
Oh, okay.
It looks like Edward Gorey from this side, doesn't it?
Yeah, is that right? Is that his name?
Mm-hmm. The Ghastly Crumb Tinies.
That's it.
We almost, I don't know if we got it or we almost got it, but like his entire like museum collection went up a while ago. And we almost, I think, no, we didn't sell it. I don't think we got it.
Wow. I've got a copy of Dracula that is illustrated by him, or has some illustrations by him.
That's pretty fucking awesome.
Dracula.
Dr. Acula.
Yeah, Dr. Dracula. So let's see. What has been your favorite subject that you've covered on the show?
Ooh. Who doesn't like a nice shandy? What kind of shandy? And is it a Leinenkugel shandy? I feel like they're the shandy masters for the Midwest.
Shandy master.
Are you asking me or them?
You.
Oh, me. Shit.
Yeah.
See, it's hard to know. Like, my favorite episodes are the ones where we get really off topic. Trashed. I like the science-y episodes, or the episodes that have more to do with things that have actually occurred, because first of all, like things like Flat Earth was awesome. I mean, really anything that puts its pinky up your beef, Laura, and gets your jimmies rustled, I am always a fan of. And typically, it's hard to get really mad about the Chan. So yeah. I would say the things that I enjoy were the things that had the most fun, weird discussion as a result. So things like the flat Earth, GMOs. I don't even know where we started on Bitcoin. It sure as shit wasn't the focus of an episode, but boy, is it a part of it now. And Flora, you're like a kid who, like, when he was 7 years old, was like really into teddy bears, and now you're a grown-ass man and everyone still gets you teddy bear shit. Like, you'll never not get every article ever written about Bitcoin sent to you. Yeah. And grapefruit shandy's the jam. Cheers, bro.
That crashed hard.
Yeah, it did.
Not totally, but it
yeah.
It took a fall around New Year's.
Yeah, the people who were worth like 200 million are now only worth like 110 million, and it's awful. It's tragic, really.
And then the latest thing is that Dogecoin, and here's the thing: like, there's so many now.
Yeah. Even Doge just died, like yesterday or today.
Did it?
Yeah, the dog that Doge is based on. R.I.P.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah.
The dog did, not the coin?
Nope, the little Shiba dog.
Jeez. Well, but like, it seems like anybody and everybody is starting these up as if they're like podcasts. And they're just, I don't know.
Well, there was
too unstable.
There was a neat story about governments adopting virtual currencies. It was a cool article that was on, I think it's Science Friday or something yesterday, about how the way that we transact with cash, it makes everything a lot slower. But governments are considering using virtual currency as a behind-the-scenes economic measure. Like, we'd still have dollars going back and forth, but as far as how the government moves money, the upswing would be that it's a hell of a lot faster and easier and a lot less costly. You wouldn't, like they were talking about how money costs money. Like if you pull money out of an ATM, that costs you money to do that.
You have to buy your own cash.
Exactly. And so they were saying that Bitcoin would help with that. The downside is using Bitcoin's proprietary blockchain transactional software. It means the government would know where they would know a lot more about how you spend your money, where your money's at. They would be able to tax your money a lot more effectively. There's a lot of downsides to it too. So I agree. Galactic credits, and also Christy, full points for knowing the dog's name.
Yeah. Don't credit cards just do that anyway?
Well, credit cards, same thing. Transactional fees. Yeah, but part of that is that's just in their nature because people use credit cards because it's easier than cash. Because cash is difficult to really use a lot in a lot of situations.
One card instead of 10 bills.
So yeah, so if you were able to utilize all of your currency as though it were digitally all the time, you wouldn't. I mean, credit card companies are very opposed to any move in that direction because they live in the middle ground between cash and digital currency. That's where they make all their money.
And they get the fees.
Right.
But wouldn't they just figure out a way to tax or to tack on fees to the cryptocurrency? Like, well, obviously,
what they're doing, I mean, I think the majority of their money is made on the fact that they're a lending institution, and then they throw in transactional fees for other things. But yeah, they could still do that, but you wouldn't need them as much. You wouldn't need to go through them in that case because you would already have a digital means of applying your currency wherever you want it. So I don't know. And I mean, like, even they said, they're like, yeah, no, we don't think the government's, they're going to do all the research because they want to know what it would look like, but they think the odds of it actually happening are pretty thin.
Yeah. It's just a weird thing.
If you thought the cable companies had a lot of money, wait till the credit card company lobbyists start showing up.
Jeez. Oh. Yeah, because if you can't pay cable, they take your cable away.
Yeah.
If you can't pay credit cards, you're gonna end up paying credit cards.
Right. But I vote for galactic credits or DNA encoded. So they just take some of your blood. Everyone's just got one finger that's just getting worn down.
Or like that Justin Timberlake movie where they take time off your life. You see that?
No. What?
You know what I'm talking about?
No. Never even heard of that.
Oh, it's I can't remember the name of it. It's not too. It was in the last like 5 years, I want to say, but like, everybody like, once you hit a certain age, like you're in your prime, and then you get a countdown, but you don't age anymore, and in your arm you have like a digital countdown of how much time you've got left. So like, that's the currency in that world, and so all the rich people have like little safes where they can like add more time to themselves and like store their time. So when you're rich, you just have a ton of time, but when you're poor, you've only got, you know, a couple years at the most or whatever.
Check it out! I got this sweet ass 78 Charger. It's titsed out.
Yeah, look what I just bought.
Oh man, I didn't want to interrupt you, Flora. And in the meanwhile, Gray Cat absolutely stepped on the joke that I was thinking of in my head about any Justin Timberlake movie is robbing you of lifetime.
Christy, I thought it was a pretty fun concept. It's a cool sci-fi.
I'll watch that because I've never even heard of it before.
If it gives you any clue, Olivia Wilde is his mother, and so like obviously they're pretty close to the same age in real life.
Yeah,
and that's the way it works. Like, you don't really age, I think, and then yeah, Justin Timberlake, dashing rogue, like poor boy gets the rich girl kind of thing. They have to survive.
And then also they have to sing.
I don't know if they do, actually.
They do. They do.
It's like a weird action movie.
It's they have to sing to survive. It's a tragedy.
She Amanda Seyfried, I don't like the way she sings. She sounds like a warbling bird. She's like,
she the girl with the eyes way out.
She is the girl with the eyes way out. But you're right. Like,
What, you can arm wrestle for clock time?
oh yeah, so like you grab somebody's arm and go boop like that, and it starts adding time to yours and taking away from theirs, and then they'll switch it over, and so it goes back and forth. So there's a scene where he's like,
Time war. So wait, could you just like burgle people while they're asleep? Just be like,
yeah, pretty much.
you better stay here, Corin, because listen, this could go to the live show any second now.
Oh man.
Oh my goodness. I wish I had more voice. I sound like a weirdo. Burglary, murdlery, cats, all the same.
You're stealing their life. Yeah, he said it's In Time. That's the movie. That's what it's called. In Time.
What year did that movie come out?
Oh, I don't know. I think it's past 5 years.
Really? Right. Yeah, 2011. I had never heard of that movie before in my life.
Past 7 years. Sorry.
Oh, that's crazy. Okay. Oh.
It's worth a watch if you're bored on a Saturday.
I'm down with that. I have been watching the original. A friend of mine at work lent me the full series of Max Headroom on DVD, and that is great and terrible. That is one of each, because it's like super 80s, where like everyone was still afraid of like teenagers who knew computers. So like all the villains are like 13-year-olds are like, yeah. But on the other hand, the special effects that they use, like because Max Headroom was not computer generated, they just wanted it to look like he was. So they put Matt Frewer in full makeup and then shot him so it looked like he was a computer entity. Those parts are all awesome, which I really think.
That's cool.
Yeah. I'm not putting coffee in my bum.
What was the what was that? What channel was that on? Do you know?
I want to say ABC. I'm guessing.
So it was like a network show.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was definitely on regular TV because I remember. Let's see here. I'm gonna find out right now.
Dan, I don't know. I don't know what the live show. I haven't picked a topic yet. It's on my to-do list. I've got to pick something good. I think that it's going to end up being the extra-sode. If not for that month, then for the next month, though. Just because with the format being like a 40 to 45-minute show, and when we did the Dolls episode, like I had to cut a story and call a bunch of audibles in the middle of it just to have the show, and so it was kind of cramped to do a real regular episode. So I think I'm going to try to pick something a little shorter to do for an extra-sode for the live show. But again, like it's under these guys that run the Chicago Podcast Festival, so it's not like how Dave and I did our live show where it's this full laid back production. We have another timetable to stick to, so this is terrible showmanship and producer talk. But like, if you don't want to come to it, I wouldn't be mad, just because it's not going to be like the one you came to the first time, and I wouldn't want you to be disappointed. That's the only reason.
And it's also because those shows are kind of, they're like it's not a show that Flora is like putting together from the ground up like we did, in Chicago, it's like, oh, you're invited to come to this space and be a part of this thing, so you're kind of playing by somebody else's rules, and so you kind of have to adjust to what they want a little bit too there, which is tough.
Yeah. And I thought the Dolls episode turned out fine. I just don't feel like it was as laid back as the one that you and I did, and wasn't as like carefree and fun, if that makes any sense. So I just throwing that out there to you. I might try and get something live together at some point this year, though, just on, a Blurry Photos production of Blurry Photos.
By Blurry Photos.
By Blurry Photos. And, obviously we'll have plenty of time to promote that and all that stuff. But
Great cat, you needling prick.
I mean, you're not wrong.
That's what I love about your style, fancy feast.
That's why I want to do it for an extra sode and pick something that's a little bit less what filled out, a little
streamlined
cornucopia.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Haunted Dolls is such a big, there's so many great stories and options in there.
There was, and then I had to go and fill it out with, like, doll history, too. Like, some of the stuff that people have done with dolls throughout.
Hey, Flora, could you describe some of the things people have done with dolls in history?
I'll show you on the doll.
Did I ever tell you about Burly Bear? It was a sketch that I pitched. This was when Annie and I were in the same level at Second City, but in separate classes. Mm-hmm. And I tried to pitch a sketch called Burly Bear, the world's only anatomically correct teddy bear. And I see why they didn't want me to do it. And I had this idea of like an opening scene where they're like, Johnny, could you show us on the stuffed animal where you were touched? And they just pull out like a bee with just like a super silly animal that's confusing, and the kid's like, ah, has this ever happened to you? And so then you just have a teddy bear with a gigantic dildo attached to it. It was a terrible idea, but I laugh every time I think about it. Pinkie Pie does not count. This is not anywhere. Wait. Is Pinkie Pie anatomically correct? Because you have to tell us.
Because I got eBay pulled up. Oh, God. If it were, why would you go to eBay first?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Worst idea.
Yeah. Boo. I guarantee they're anatomically correct, My Little Ponies in the world, because the darkest timeline.
Oh no, Great Cat.
Yeah, no, that's why it's funny, because we know he's off for it.
Yeah, but no, you're right. Like it was rushed. I tried to do an hour 15 informational show in 40 minutes, so it was doomed from the start.
Did you get like improv light flash, or did they just tell you were at time?
They did a light. I was in the middle of the story, so I didn't see it.
Oh shit!
Mark saw it, and so like when they do the light, it's like I think it was a 5-minute light, and I finished the story not long after they flashed the light, and Mark said, trying to like let me know that he had seen light. He was like, "Hey dog, we have less than 2 minutes," and so I was like, "Wait," like I had tons of stuff going through my head, like. Number 1, where was the 5-minute thing? Number 2, we started late. We should have more time.
Number 3, Mark, why are you on their side?
Mark, this is the time I need you the most. So then I was like, but yeah. So if you have any Yeah, the P disc story was one of the best parts of that show. It had nothing to do with dolls, but Mark Soloff's storytelling. So
Right?
If you have any suggestions for a good short topic that could be an extra sode for that, throw them at me because I'm still gathering ideas. But I've got a schedule together for the upcoming couple months of what I want to do. And let's see. Oh, speaking of Max Headroom, I looked into the Max Headroom incident, where somebody got into the...
Yeah, they took over the broadcast TV.
Yeah, I thought maybe, because people have suggested that before, but there's nothing to it, and it's not really disturbing, but it's weird and just gross in a way, because you can tell it's some weirdo.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's impressive because the scale on which it happened, but virtually nothing else about it is all that skirts
Not that I
blowing.
can find anyway.
Yeah. I would love to believe that was like the very end of some James Bond thing where there was a tape that was going to melt everyone's brain, and at the last minute they were really able to switch it with some weirdo they'd encountered earlier in the movie. like, oh, we came so close to having our eyeballs melted.
Yeah. There was a part, though, where he's, like, getting spanked by a fly swatter or something on his bare ass. If you haven't seen it, I mean, not that I'm saying it's worth a watch,
I'm
but
curious.
It's gross. It's
well,
dumb.
I mean, we went over. When did we talk about Randy Quaid losing his shit? When did we?
Yeah, the Star Whackers.
Yeah, we talked about it
a few months ago, at least.
Yeah, because there's a weird, awkward sex tape from that too that was unpleasant.
Yeah, there was too many videos with that one.
So what would an episode? I think Corin's got a great question for you, Flora. What would an episode about pee sipping and coffee dribbling look like?
I haven't heard of these, so
You never heard of coffee enemas or people who drink their own piss?
Well, I've heard of people who drink their own piss, but like, is that
weird? Wait, what are you saying?
Is that
you having a go, mate?
Puts the jar away. And
yeah.
Corinne, you're gonna get it. I've got it on my to-do list as one of the top things. I'm gonna send it out probably Monday. I made an effort to like make a to-do list of all the things because I keep thinking of things to do, and I'm like, oh, I should do that, and then I'm like driving to the store or something, and so I can't write it down. I don't remember, but I have it on a list, and I've got everything. You'll get it. Don't worry. You should bring back the Crypto Kid. He was great. Like, he's a cool kid. The one funny thing, though, before we started recording, Dave, I don't know if I told you this, but he was like, "Yeah, I'm so happy I get to be on your show. It's one of the things I had on my bucket list before I turned 18 was to do this, and then my favorite podcast, Monster Talk." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And he's like, "Yeah, that's my favorite podcast." And I'm like, "Cool. Glad you shared."
Teenagers, precocious youth.
So yeah, but yeah, he was great. I mean, it's
also if you do have him back on, you have to do a musical intro, which would be the cover of War's Cisco Kid. Crypto Kid, it was a friend of mine. You ever hear Cisco Kid?
Probably not.
You've heard it. It's one of those things that once you hear it, you're like, oh, it's that one.
Who did it?
War. Again, it's hard to make out any noise I'm making right now.
Hard to make out.
Hard to make out.
When he gets his book, when he puts his book out, I'll have him back on, regardless of the haters.
Them haters.
Yeah,
there's always a thick cut slice of Ken Height waiting in the wings.
Yeah. Oh, okay, Chris. I made the mistake of starting to read your sentence out loud.
Now, here's the thing. I don't feel like that was meant to be sent to us. I feel like Corinne's working in multiple windows, and she's like got a thing going here, she got a thing going here, and she just got mixed up. I feel like that message wasn't intended for us.
Maybe. I feel like it was. What is it, Christy? Yes, he says my wife has a show suggestion. Yeah, so
hold on.
Shoot it
Let me open this beer in the way that I know how to.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
you did that as if
I did it in the classic Dave Stecco way. You know, just the way I. Yep, I used the Flora technique.
It's stuff about Felix Sater and related conspiracies. I've never heard of this.
Yeah, I'm already on it. Don't worry. I'm like, already, I got.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah, he's a Russian-born American real estate developer and former managing director of the Bayrock Group. Something to do with Trump.
Is it really?
Yep.
I don't know if I can.
That's a lot. It's a lot of heat. It's a lot of heat coming down. My favorite thing, and I just can't. I don't ever want to like have blurry photos of all the places to become some weird political discussion. But I love. Did you guys see this thing about the Gorilla Channel? So this big book comes out this week, and everyone's up in arms about everything this guy says happened in the White House, and who cares? It's true or it's not, whatever. This guy on Twitter that I follow wrote a fake excerpt from the book about how when Trump came to the White House, he kept telling his aides that the cable TV was crap because they don't get the Gorilla Channel, and that he believed there was a channel that just showed gorillas 24 hours a day. So they were like, fuck. So they rigged up a bunch of documentaries together, just had it playing in a loop. It was always gorillas. And then he complained that they weren't fighting enough. So then they cut out all the parts that weren't gorillas fighting and put that on a loop. And he would watch it for like 10 hours a day. He just loved the Gorilla Channel. And he did it as a joke. But all these people picked it up and ran with it. That like thought that it was because... everything else you hear is just so outlandish. Why wouldn't the Gorilla Channel be real? And even the guy who made the joke originally has had to since change his Twitter handle name to the Gorilla Channel was a joke. Like, this didn't happen. And it's delicious. It's hilarious.
See, that's hilarious. That's funny, but it's also sad that...
Yeah, Christy looks at people were harassing Netflix trying to get the Gorilla Channel.
It's sad that we can't even make jokes anymore because they're taken to be serious,
Well, and the thing is, and I don't know how it all laid out. I mean, because when I first read it, I was like, that's pretty fucking funny. But like, I think it was mostly picked up by people who don't like Donald Trump. Who are like, look how crazy he is.
Right.
Oh. I just love that I just love the idea of the Gorilla Channel. That is a well-crafted, hilarious joke.
Gorilla Channel. Jeez Louise. Yeah, we're making our way in the world today. It's taking everything we got.
Oh my God! You know what? We should take a break from all our worries, Flora.
Sure would help a lot.
Oh, man. That's a pretty fucking sweet-ass sweater, by the way.
Oh, thanks. Yeah,
that thing is awesome. Is that a snowboarding Yeti?
It's a shredding Yeti.
Shredding Yeti! Shreddy? Did I tell you that I won my office? I won a gift card to my office.
Yeah.
Christmas with the sweater you got me. So...
What was the gift that keeps on giving?
I know, right?
What was it? Was it just best ugly sweater or something?
I mean, they just went through the office and the top 3 sweaters all got gift cards for Amazon.
Pretty sweet. How did your coworkers take the news?
Oh, they are strangely they're actually my coworkers' reactions is exact. It's a perfect cross section of what we're getting like on Facebook and stuff too. Some people are like, "Oh yeah, I remember you mentioned that," and some people are like, "Wait, what the fuck's going on here?" My sister has been fielding text messages from her coworkers who listen to the podcast as well.
Oh,
They were
really?
like, what the fuck's going on here? Where's go here? But no, they in the office. My office leans heavily towards Candy Chat, and I assured them that they've got plenty of Candy Chats to look forward to. I don't know how many. I mean, because we recorded 4 in a day, plus
There's at
more.
least 3 left that I can record.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, that I can edit.
Yeah, we've got a lot of those ladies just waiting in the wings. Elegance.
Yeah. And the good thing about Candy Chat is it's not as hard to put together as an episode of Blurry Photos. So
Right, and it's candy.
it's candy.
By the way, I got similarly fucked, just like Halloween, man. They were like, "Oh, is it 6:10 a.m. on December 26th? Because it's time for fucking candy hearts, assholes."
Well, some places have Easter stuff out now.
I haven't seen that yet. Everything in Iowa City went straight to pink.
I got 3 little things, just in case we ever wanted to do the Christmas of 2017. I just don't know if we'll have the time or not. But I've got 3 small items, one of which is a Russell Stover, of course.
Guard your heart.
Um,
Is it next to the fire retardant clothing? I saw a weather report that Australia is just the perfect, I guess, geographic opposite of the east coast of the U.S. It's just like their heat map is like into like whatever the ultraviolet spectrum is. Like they went past yellow and orange like weeks ago, and now it's all just dark black purples. They don't.
Devilish Apparition!
Oh! Hello, Devilish Apparition.
Yeah.
Happy Easter to the ground!
A wild devilish apparition appears. Yeah, so plenty of stuff in the cut, including that Mysterious Peeps episode, which was much more delightful than it sounds.
That really did work out. Yeah, that Peeps episode, I was really surprised. Also because we had those Peeps for a while. I expect to be like, trying to work through those.
Yeah, but man, they'll outlive us all.
Did you see that thing I tweeted?
Today?
Yeah.
I retweeted it, yeah.
Oh, sweet. I didn't know that apparently at some point Orson Welles asked him to record an ad for Peeps.
Is it real or is somebody doing it?
No, I think that, Orson Welles did a lot of ad work and he was mad about all of it.
That is true.
Oh, God, that's great.
Jeez Louise.
Fucking. No.
Well, I love it how when he does these ads, when he's sober, he's like very passive aggressive about everything.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, "Yes, this tastes very good because of the card they just handed me. I guess it tastes that way. That's what the card says."
The salubrious nature of this confectionery treat allows it to easily enter the gullet with a minimum of chewing. which is much to be desired for the on-the-go type.
What is this? Go get. It's much too extreme for me. Oh, jeez.
I shall eat my yogurt in a bowl, thank you.
I don't touch yogurt. It
Yeah,
ties with my intestinal system.
Great, that's right. It's fermented in the package.
Yes. Ciao, Bonnie.
Joe. Much like the finest French Yoplait.
Oh.
Blah, blah, blah. Well's done.
Oh my God. That was because we were drunk, right?
Yeah, we were drunk. We had, that is hands down the least preparation for an opener we have ever done, because we just were like, Well's done, sounds good, you and me were the same character. How could that go wrong? Let's just run with it. And when I say the least, I don't mean like, oh yeah, that one was close. No. It was like by an hour of thought. A full 60 minutes of thinking and planning that didn't go into that.
Mm-hmm.
I started naming it a wine after another dish, Chateaubriand 1968. Fuck, that was a booze-filled episode.
Jeez. Was that on the, what was that on? Was that on Carl Jung?
That was Carl Jung. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I do recall.
I recall that.
Recall that one. Yeah. Oh, man, if we revisit it, we have to call it Total Recarl.
Well, let me ask the board this.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about going back and doing some old episodes, like the subjects that we've covered. Not many, but like Dyatlov Pass. We even
pass.
talked about doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But is it worth it to do a Dyatlov second pass, and other subjects that we did way back in the day to go over again, or is it in the past? We did it, move on. Nothing left to see. What do people think? What do you think, Dave?
I think, especially given how long it's been since the book came out, I'd be willing. I bet you could get the author on the podcast.
Well, I emailed him, never heard back a while ago.
Yeah, give it another shot.
So,
be like, all right.
But if I don't, if I still don't hear back from him, what do you think?
I would say, it was a super popular episode. Like, people really liked that one. I've never re-listened to it because, I'll be honest, I'm afraid to. I feel like I was too flippant about the loss of life, and I'm afraid to re-listen to it because it's going to cringe me out. So I've never gone back to it myself. But, especially Dead Mountain hadn't come out at the time we recorded it, so there's a lot more... there's no, there's more information available now than when we recorded it. So that would be worth going back over if you had some other, if you had some stuff that wasn't necessarily directly from Dead Mountain. I think it'd be more
so just
claps.
Just a retelling and and the new theory from the book wouldn't be enough. I would need a couple more things to add to it. You're saying?
I think to get a full episode, I'm thinking about it. Like what other...
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either.
But I know there's been other books written lately, because
right,
that kind of became the creepy touchstone for a lot of people to get into paranormal podcasts and stuff, and every paranormal podcast has to do it. It's like a rite of passage.
Mm-hmm.
rite of Dyatlov Passage. I'd like you to go back to hating the Wiccans.
I'll tell you what I'd like to see. More of that Wiccan hating.
Yeah, I don't know. And like I said, I don't know what other one I would like redo if I were to take another pass at something. That was just one that you and I have talked about, and I didn't know what the protocol was on doing something that we've already done before, even though it will be different because you won't be there for it. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, and I think even that change of format alone would make it interesting and different. Like, you know, and because how many, I mean, to be honest, how many times we get like, oh, this looked really interesting, then I heard that asshole making jokes. You got an assholectomy. Do it.
That one in particular. And, you know, there's not much wrong with that. Like, we've never made fun of the loss of human life. Like, that's not been our jam. It's just the...
Yeah, we did like 3 episodes, the Making Fun of Loss of Human Life podcast. We stopped.
Yeah,
no one liked that.
That went nowhere.
Yeah.
But Dave, in the lead up to it, we did like, oh, this is a Russian mystery. USA! 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 There was some of that going on before the story. And, you know, some people can't handle that.
That's true. Yeah, no, I mean, I'll be the first to say I'm not proud of some of the things I've done. I mean, I slept
What's your biggest regret?
Well, I mean, sleeping with someone to get on a podcast.
Closer.
No, now I'm playing your game again. I got lost in your eyes. God damn it. Speaking of your eyes, Flora, you need to like scooch down because your eyes are getting lost at the very top cutoff of our vid feed there. There we go. Yes, scrunch it in. Bring it in. Flora's all like, well, I've got a lot of posture going here.
I takes it when I can get it.
That's right. Well, I was looking, Corinne. I was looking, and I was liking.
Liking. I'm the guy with the gun.
That's right. Sweet, sweet Wiccans. No, in retrospect, Wiccan, the reason I don't handle the Wiccans anymore is they make a lot more fucking sense than a lot of other religions.
Sure.
I mean...
That's saying some things, but...
You know, what it would be funny is if, like, what if the Wiccans were just as just fucking god-awful as the worst representations of every other world religion? It's just that, you know, like, what does a Wiccan pipe bomb look like? It's just a bunch of twigs wrapped around a pine cone. It just doesn't work. So people don't realize that they're trying to kill everyone. It just never works. I think that's funny. Fuck off. No, I that was the thing that I enjoyed about the Wiccan episode is that I was like, you know, the more you learn about this, you know, it's what Christy said, like, the more you learn, like, oh, this is just a nice group of folks. They ain't bothering, they are harming none.
Yeah, a lot less judgmental than others.
Oh, sweet, sweet fancy feast. I'm already going to sleep with you. It was already going to happen. Although, I'll bet you that would be a pretty good shot if you could make a shot called a Wiccan pipe bomb.
Right? That's what I was I picked up this little nugget today.
What's that about? Oh, Folktale Louisiana. I know people who are going to like that. Do you know, ask Nick Nisko, I almost said ask Nick Nisko next time you see him. You'll never see him again.
With any luck.
Yeah. Yeah, boy.
Yeah. Because in a couple weeks, I will be there.
Oh, you're going to New Orleans?
Mm-hmm.
Kick ass.
So, for a couple days, I'm going to meet up with the Rumor Flies boys and I want to do some kind of recording down there, and we've really picked the old pickled peppers clean of New Orleans fun stuff, tales and stuff. There's so much like, oh, New Orleans is haunted, there's ghosts here, and this mansion is haunted, and literally it's all like, so-and-so bought this in the 1800s, they threw lavish parties, and then everyone died. Now it's haunted. Isn't New Orleans scary? And
Tales of Legionnaire's disease.
that's like every story of everything out there. And so I'm like, you can't build an episode on that.
You could do Tales of Terror from New Orleans, but just hang out in the French Quarter with like a University of Kentucky T-shirt till like 4 in the morning. They'll eat your ass alive.
You're probably right. You're probably right. But I thought, yeah, I'm still trying to think of what to do for that. There's some really good like starts of stories where it's like, hey, this would be cool to tell, and then it goes nowhere because there's no truth to it. So I thought, well, maybe just do like Louisiana folktales as an episode. I don't know.
I'd like that. I think Louisiana folktales would be just as fun and interesting. I can't imagine. Well, actually, I feel like Jägermeister and absinthe would be weirdly complementary to each other.
Yeah, wouldn't they taste
Similarly, but then you got to put something else in there that's like what is that? Is it Frangelico? Is that the stuff that's real nutsy flavored?
Yeah,
you put some Frangelico in there. Listen, Corinne's the one who gets to call it. It's her drink.
But you have to drop it in like a Foster's. That's the bomb part.
Oh, that's true.
And then light it on fire.
Oh, fuck. You may have just nailed it. If it's Jaeger, absinthe, and Frangelico, and then you drop it into a can of Foster's. Wait, no. Exports New Zealand. I won't make that mistake. But, yeah, Foster's will do. But, I mean, this is not a beverage meant for enjoyment.
Yeah, this is a beverage to slam.
It's a punishment. It's a punishment drink.
Foster's is the chaser.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a punishment.
I realized, I found out over the holiday that Kim's family has this weird, like, lexicon of names that they've invented for beers. So, like, Coors Light's called a Colorado smoothie, and Busch beer is called a Tasty. They've got, like, all these weird names for shitty beers.
Weird.
Yeah, and I never knew it, but we were hanging out on Christmas Day and, like, grilling steaks outside, and her brother's like, Dave, you want a Tasty? I was like, what? Busch.
Yeah, I already got one. Gross.
Super gross.
Frangelico in the natty.
Actually, I could probably do a pretty good Fran Drescher laugh. I'll never mock her because she was in UHF. Anyone who was in that movie can do no wrong in my life. Oh, smarts.
What about Braveheart? Was Mel Gibson disowned for Braveheart? I mean, yeah, he was doing a Scottish accent, but still a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
Before we knew how nutso he was.
By the way, just one other thing to mention, if anyone ever has the opportunity to watch UHF, if you haven't seen it, watch it. It's one of the greatest movies ever made. Came out the same weekend as Lethal Weapon, and it got kind of shoved to the side. But watch it with the director's commentary with Weird Al Yankovic, because it's fucking amazing. He just has a lot of really weird facts that I don't know if it's a running joke, or if he actually remembers everything from making this movie from like 1988. What the?
I never saw that. I'll have to.
It's Weird Al Yankovic's major theater release movie, and it's amazing. And it's like, it's in essence, and even he'll say it was this excuse to string together all these little bits that he had. Yeah, it's a Weird Al movie.
How close are you to Des Moines, Dave?
Super close. Dan, I think you mean we're meeting Weird Al in Des Moines in March. Unless it's already sold out. Fuck, now I gotta look. Because I'll say this, I've been to a lot of concerts. Weird Al Yankovic, hands down, best show I've ever been to.
He's a performer.
Yeah, he really fucking is. Okay, let's see here. I'm looking it up. I'm not.
What's that face?
I'm just looking it up. God, this guy works so fucking hard.
March.
I mean, like, I'm looking at March, and he plays March 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. I'm sorry, 2 shows on the 4th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 13th, 14th. I mean, this motherfucker never stops. He's amazing. And I don't see any stops in Iowa. What kind of magic are you pulling on
March,
me?
Dan says.
Oh, there it is. Yep. At the Hoyt Sherman. I'm looking at. I mean, I'm probably just going to buy a ticket tonight.
Boy, at the Hoyt Sherman. Oh. Dave, you want to go to the Hoyt Sherman?
The Hoyt Sherman.
I don't know.
Oh.
Let's get chapped lips around the end of March. I don't like going out in the weather, huh?
Oh my God, this looks so fucking awesome.
I
might do it. Fuck. If I can't get drunk tonight because I'm sick, but if I get drunk, I'm gonna fucking do it.
If I get drunk. I mean, that's a pretty egregious lie if you don't do that.
I know. Shit.
You really did sign in blood right there.
No.
Boy.
I'm sorry. We're doing a live show, and I'm like, let me just Google some shit while you guys watch the side of my head. My bad. I just got excited.
Yeah. Another question to the board, since we got them here. I want to find out information from people while we
pump them.
With the inevitable live streams that will just be me. What would you guys like to do for them?
No one heard what you said.
Just put a hand over.
No one heard what you said. Think about a podcast without all these distractions, and just know that things are going to get better.
What would you guys like to do? Well, you just got the solo flying. I thought about doing like reading some of the ghost stories, because I've got a bunch of books back here that we haven't read on episodes, just because I don't want, like, I don't know. I don't want to get in any weird hot water, but since this is just us for a donate stream, I don't mind reading books. So if there's any ghost stories, I was thinking, well, we could do some ghost stories.
Sock puppet show.
We could do I could redo famous cryptid attacks with sock puppets. I am the beast of Javoudan. I am a totally made it!
Oh my God. Laura, what if the 2018 Ms. Cryptid was entirely sock puppets? Hello, I am a Batinda Swank. I was born in a time indeterminate, but tales of me are known in Iceland. Yes, dramatic reenactments with sock puppets. Oh my God, if you made little sock puppets of every cryptid, that'd be the most brilliant thing on earth. Also, 2018 cryptid in contention is now the Batilda Swank. Which is the legendary daughter of Tilda Swinton and Hilary Swank. As foretold in the book of Revelation.
Batilda Swank.
Oh, that'd be great. That is rich.
Yeah. Anyway, like, yeah. So I'm just wondering what you guys would like, or if you would not like just like story time. I mean, obviously, I'll still be chatting on here, have the live chat up and stuff, and talk about things that are going on. But I just wondered what would be entertaining and worth your time to see. That's what I came up with, and I'm open to new ideas. So
New experiences.
if you got one, send them to me, or think about it and let me know. And then the next live stream is just in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
I've already sent out that
punch
invite and stuff, so I've got something planned for that. But for the things I can't plan, let me know what you think. I could just
there you go, Flora. Fixed it. I just helped you.
What is it?
You were kind of like slipping off the edge of the camera, so I just moved your pan over to reset you.
Is it going too far this way?
Yeah, but no, you're fine. Look at that proud bat squatch on the wall behind you.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty awesome. I got mine here. I had it hung and then it fell down, mostly because my nieces were fucking with me. And
yeah, this is my paranormal shelf.
I like it. How many more squeezes you think that skeleton's got in it before it just gives it the fuck up?
Well, it's not been particularly dry in here, so it's got a few more, I bet.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, listen, Dan, this whole thing was going to be nothing but nudes, but you and Christy just had to, yeah, see?
I got my guys up here.
Got your... Flora! I can't believe I forgot to tell you this till this moment. Somebody, one of the supervisors that I work with, came by. He was like, "Hey, Stecco." And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Tiddlers." And I was like, "Oh!"
You're like, "Oh!"
Yeah. I was like, it's so weird. It's such a great word, but you can't say it to anybody because it's so repugnant. Wow. Tiddlers. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's kind of what real life should be.
I did, by the way. Remember how we got the pictures of that Sasquatch with like the nips and belly button exposed? So that restaurant, the Bigfoot Brewery, is like 10 minutes from Kim's parents' house. We drove by it over Christmas, like we were on the way to a movie, and I was like, shit, that's where it is! So I've got to make sure next time I go down there to bring a Blurry Photo shirt so I can clothe that monstrosity.
Oh yeah, now I know what you're talking about. The live picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, there's a place called the Bigfoot Brewery. It's technically Altoona, which is like right between where Kim's parents live in Des Moines. But it's like 10 minutes from their house.
Wow.
So I was pretty stoked about
there's
that.
a bunch of breweries around here actually that.
Yeah, good luck with that, Gray Cat. No more Blue Reavers, just Tiddlers.
Tiddlers. All right, this one goes out to all the Tiddlers out there. I can make T-shirts that are like proud Tiddler.
Tiddler pride. I'm a midnight Tiddler. Oh shit. Well, kids, my voice is just about to give it the fuck up. So I answer phones for a living now, which is just so exciting. And towards the end of my shift yesterday, when my voice was like this, like the only way to get through calls is I had to lower my voice, and this was the only way I could just to make sure to get through the rest of my shift. So I sounded like Buffalo Bill, or like or like an investigative report where they're trying to disguise my identity. So this is the voice that I have now. It also reminds me of the end of Pee Wee Herman, where he gets a spot in the movie about his life. Paging Mr. Herbert. Mr. Herbert, you have a call.
Mr. Herman.
Paging Mr. Herbert. Yeah, I think we're about ready to wrap this up there, Flurba.
Yeah. Everybody. Good wishes to Dave on his nuptials and
victuals. Yeah, and I'm literally as far away as a Facebook. So if you guys want to harass my ass, do it. I'm around.
Ass harassers.
Ass harassers. That's the new bangerang.
Tiddlers. Ass harassers.
Tiddlers. : ass harassers. Thursdays on UPN. You guys are glorious. Thank you guys all.
Thank you guys.
So we had a Great Cat Fancy Feast. Christine, the Devilish Apparition, Corin, and honestly, Corin, be safe. It's like it might actually be like your car might be melting right now. So just be careful. That's hot as fuck there.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have any East Coasters here. I don't feel like we do, because they would have stopped listening with the first Boston accent.
That is true. Yeah, we've got the opposite. Instead of melting, our cars are cracking and shattering.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, it is not warm.
That's funny.
Good, yeah. Let the people be outside. You stay inside. Everybody else stay safe. Grey Cat, I've loved you since the moment of your coronation as the eternal king of Halloween.
Oh, like everybody's from the East Coast. Look at this.
Oh shit. Well, see?
DC, Mass.
Here's the thing. You got to drink plenty of water, and remember that cold starts from the outside in. Keep your fingers, your hands, and your feet warm. The rest of your body will follow suit. That's my bullshit advice. That's it. I got nothing else. You guys are glorious, and I love you forever, shiny and chrome.
Witness him.